Soyez Savoir. We love Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
In this bulletin, one dead following bus accident. Fiji Day celebrations are COVID-19 safe. And environment champions for Suva.
From the studios of FBC Suva, Ateda Lendua.
A woman has died in hospital after being hurt in a bus accident in Nanduri, Maduwata yesterday. Police say the woman in her 40s was admitted at the Lambasa Hospital's intensive care unit, where she passed away last night. An eyewitness, Bruce Travers, says it appeared the driver was allegedly struggling to get the bus moving when it started rolling back and down a hillside. There were 31 passengers aboard. Travers says he heard screaming, followed by a loud crash as the accident happened in the blink of an eye.
We rushed out and saw few passengers were jumping off the bus, including the driver, and two women were screaming for help from inside. We could only see groceries were scattered, blood was seen in most places, and these two women had serious head injuries. Few vehicles came to the rescue and transported these two women and other passengers to the hospital.
A 70-year-old passenger remains in hospital. Spotters from the Health Ministry will strictly monitor ground activities on Fiji Day to ensure COVID-19 protocols are adhered to. Minister Dr. Ifiremi Wangai-Nambete says spotters continue in their role irrespective of any event, and Fijians need to celebrate responsibly. He adds that apart from following COVID-19 guidelines, people are free to revel in the 50th independence celebrations. Dr. Wangai-Nambete adds that all government events this Saturday have been approved following risk assessments.
I can assure us and assure the public at large that all the Fiji government celebrations that will happen they've had significant input from the Ministry of Health on the technical aspects in regards to COVID-19, and they have our blessings.
The third witness in the case against a pastor alleged to have raped members of his congregation told the Suva High Court the accused used the pretext of healing to touch her inappropriately. Waisake Tulavu faces 3 charges of rape against church members aged 22, 29 and 32 in Nasinu in 2018. Today's witness said she went to Tulavu's place for healing, but instead was touched inappropriately and was also threatened by the accused, who told her she would die if she revealed the alleged incident. She says Tulavu took her into a room, switched off the light, and started asking her personal questions about her relationship with her boyfriend before he took advantage of her. She testified she told relatives about the incident 5 days later, and this was when the case was reported to police. She also claims Tulavu had visited a relative's place to seek forgiveness and claimed he was just playing around when he touched her inappropriately. The last witness, who is also a pastor, is now giving evidence in court. Concerns have been raised that farmers sometimes are not permitted to sell their produce inside municipal markets. Local Government Minister Pramila Kumar says this creates conflict between vendors and farmers about congestion outside the market. She adds there should not be any discrimination about who is allowed to rent space inside markets.
But the reality is most of these farmers can be accommodated inside the market, but they don't want to sell from inside. And this is creating a lot of problem for the municipal councils.
Volunteer groups gathered at the Suva City Carnegie Library last night to mark a chapter in their movement towards promoting a clean environment. Now collectively known as the Suva Environment Champions, the group, as part of the Fiji 50 celebrations, has pledged to keep the city clean and friendly. Suva City Council health educator Taito Wangai-Yabana says more than 5 volunteer groups with the common motive of improving the Suva environment will now consolidate their resources. He says this is an effort that will continue into the future with the aim of keeping the capital city clean.
The whole idea was to try and coordinate all voluntary activities since they have been coming in in their own way and at their own pace. Okay, so we had thought of consolidating the effort and bring them together, and to have a body amongst them.
Fiji has been appointed Vice Chair of the World Health Organization Regional Committee meeting. Chief Medical Advisor Dr. Chemesa Tundravu says this reflects the work Fiji has done in providing vigilant health services as the COVID-19 pandemic grips the world. Dr. Tundravu says Fiji is committed to ensuring that all health needs are met and has urged the Western Pacific region to share information on successful strategies across the region. He says that COVID-19 is new and requires substantial resourcing, but normal functions of health ministries such as vaccination programs must continue. Dr. Tundravu has also called for the WHO and its partners' continued support for Fiji towards NCDs, climate change, health, and safe and affordable surgery. Up ahead, do or die day for Suva at IDC.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
The All Freights Logistics Suva side has failed to beat Nasinu this year, suffering another loss last night. Suva coach Babs Khan says it's a tough journey for them now after losing 1-0 to Nasinu. If Suva loses to Rewa today, then that simply means they are out of the Courts Inter-District Championship, even though they still have Lotoka to play tomorrow.
We're still shocked by losing to Nasinu. It's kind of shocking, you know. It's the only team I have not beaten this year. It's going to be tough, but you know, we're not out. We're going to have to work harder. I mean, if we had won the game or draw, you know, it would have been an easy path for us, but now we need to lift up another level.
The Courts Inter-District Championship is a good platform for the Nandronga senior football team to bulk up for the upcoming Senior League playoffs. The side has set the goal of making the Super Premier Division and battling top football teams. After the impressive 11-3 opening win against Nandronga yesterday, coach Johnny Williams says they are on the right track.
We are here to win, and also our main focus is on 2 weeks' time when we play the playoffs. That is the main focus, to really go up into the Super Premier, so that Nandronga is where they deserve to be.
Minor Premiers Penrith will have to power through to the NRL Grand Final without strike-back rower Viliame Kikau after the Panthers forward was found guilty of a dangerous throw at the NRL judiciary. Occasional showers with isolated thunderstorms over the southern and eastern parts and interior of the larger islands, Kandavu and nearby smaller islands. Cloudy periods with some showers and isolated afternoon or evening thunderstorms elsewhere. Isolated heavy falls expected. That's FBC News Now. Join us again at 7 p.m. for our major bulletin. In times of crisis, you need news you can trust. Get the facts from FBC's TV, radio, and digital news at fbc.com.fj, keeping Fijians connected with the truth. Good afternoon.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.
Bula FM number 2 NSR.